Ever witness a wife transform from a laid-back person to a full-fledged FBI investigator in a single day, 2 seconds? Because that's just what Rasheeda recently starred in. Kirk and baby Karlie read. Kay just caught Frost in the act. We're not conversing. Sorry. It was just a mess that is friendly and DMs. Oh, no. This includes enigmatic receipts, late-night link-ups, and GPS positions that don't tell a lie. Rasheeda isn't playing with no one since season 13 unlocked boss chick mode. What brought Karlie to Kirk's phone using a fictitious name? Why was Kirk spotted surreptitiously entering the store where Karlie was shopping after hours? And who leaked the video that has security on high alert and producers sweating? Chilly. It's not just TV drama. It seems as if my Judge Judy and Deline, NBC, had a kid together and left it at VH1's door. ... So, if you thought Atlanta was a messy place for hip-hop and love before season 13, get ready to clutch your pearls, grab some popcorn, and buckle up. Surgical, who do you think is wielding the scalpel? Rasheeda, let's dissect everything. Piece by shocking piece, all the way down. Let's go back to the beginning of this chaotic VH1 soap opera. Because, believe me, this one didn't appear out of nowhere. Like Sunday dinner, this treachery was prepared. Slowly, Rasheeda is currently choking on the smoke. This is how it all began. Several sources claim that near manufacturing, and when we state by close, we mean having the tea boiling while standing in the dressing room. Prior to shooting, Rasheeda and Kirk Frost's close relationship was already tense. Even season 13 got underway. We're discussing strange tension, a phone in airplane mode, and enigmatic business trips that take place out of town. The trips that begin with, "I'll be back by Sunday," but end with a text message saying my phone died 3 days later. Now, if you've spent even a single moment watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season, you are aware that Kirk's past isn't entirely spotless. His baby mama drama, alleged hidden condos, and that have already garnered media attention. Season 6's iconic jacuzzi incident involving strippers. The man's cheat sheet is longer than a receipt from CVS. Karlie read, "Yes, Karlie, I stay where?" The mess lives read then started to appear around her spouse once again as Rasheeda began to notice. Like a fire drill, alarms began to sound. One unnamed production assistant claimed to have heard Rasheeda declare, "I know Karlie. I've seen this game before and I'm not going to rerun it, so I know her type." Listen, Karlie has been embroiled in controversy after scandal for years, so she isn't innocent in any of this. From Benzino to Young Jock to stop her from black ink, she spills someone else's tea and then drinks it with their man on the down low. Why Kirk? Why now? Karlie's dating history reads like a murder scene from a tabloid. Now for the juicy part. One day while shooting at a downtown store owned by one of Karlie's friends, Kirk reportedly arrived in without permission. Eyewitnesses said that man entered the building wearing a pair of sleek, stylish sunglasses and began inquiring about new items for a woman friend. 10 minutes later, they unintentionally found themselves in the same VIP changing room with Karlie, already situated in the back. Yes, since VH1 randomly allows cast members to enter locked dressing rooms as if they were in a hotel spa. That same evening, Rasheeda's assistant reportedly learned of something odd. Karlie's purse was left in the green room. When one of the interns attempted to return it, a receipt from the same boutique appeared. Only 15 minutes after Kirk's visit, time-stomped. Coincidence, perhaps? Suspicious as hell? Yes. But hold on, it gets even messier. A few days later, Karlie uploaded a video of a boomerang to Twitter. Investigators looked into her Instagram story, which showed her laughing with an unidentified male whose face was cleverly cropped out while drinking wine. Zoom in, improve the screen capture, and presto. Fans noticed that the man's tattooed wrist was identical to a picture Kirk shared on his birthday months before. Went crazy. Karlie Red received a PA-HOD-DH in defiance. Someone should get Rasheeda out of the studio and stop Karlie from hanging. Out with Rasheeda's husband once more. Into that group chat, and while Rasheeda was attempting to dismiss it all, claiming it was only the internet acting in its own way, the last straw fell like a wrecking ball. A set hairstylist who wished to remain nameless claims that Rasheeda airdropped a video clip from an unidentified number while the video shows Kirk and Karlie smiling and conversing up close in the back of a fancy Sprinter vehicle before, you guessed it, leaning in for what Rasheeda doesn't even flinch as the screen cuts out, just as lips are about to close in what appears to be a kiss, with a boss chick exit that shouted, "I'm about to handle this." She glanced at the phone, set it down, and left the set without saying anything or shouting. And that's when it all changed. My friends, season 13 became more about the characters than the plots. Rasheeda's tone changed, and she was suddenly filming with purpose, not just for the cameras. Her appearances transformed. She began dressed different, like a lady on a purpose. And behind the scenes, let's just say that Karlie began arriving on set with a whole new level of anxiety. According to production sources, Karlie asked for security 3 times, saying she was feeling aggressive. From Rasheeda's team, what did you expect, girl? You might be out here surreptitiously with a married man. And that even Kirk began to look like the married man's wife, who was in the next room, still wearing heels as if she were prepared to trample the truth out of someone. In one scene, Rasheeda asked him directly, "Where were you last Thursday at 9 o'clock?" And he was caught stuttering because he was unable to maintain his lies. PM, after taking a drink of water and blinking twice, he said, "Well, wasn't that the day we, sir? Did you have the picture shoot?" The time stomp was witnessed by all. There aren't any targeted picture shoots for the red-themed Sprinter vans. Illumination. The most outrageous part is that the H1 producers were unaware of this and believed they were filming another simple love plotline. Instead, they accidentally filmed one of the most dramatic betrayal storylines in series history. And trust Rasheeda is because what's better than clapping back? I'm going to make the most of every moment of this screen time like the seasoned reality queen that she is. Boom. Using a camera crew, a variety of angles, and perfectly calibrated lighting. After witnessing the now famous van film, Rasheeda leaves the set quietly. But don't be fooled by that. Karlie Red was directly in the line of a storm that was building, and what happened next wasn't merely a masterclass in silent retaliation, reality TV gold. Now, let's talk about Rasheeda. Sis didn't rush to Instagram Live. She didn't disparage her story or even unfollow Karlie. Instead, she did what? She confronted the showrunner, as only a woman devalued by production authority would. An insider from Rasheeda reportedly told the crew in the production trailer, "Let the cameras roll if you want to plot this season, but don't expect me to play nice." Translation: I want the world to see this treachery frame by frame. Don't edit anything. Don't shield anybody. Next came the setting, where Rasheeda summoned a scene from a ladies' brunch. The type she brought the usual suspects, including Spice, Bambi, Sierra, and even Kendra, to the place where phony mimosas meet genuine shade. She also ensured that Karlie, who had front row seats, received the invitation. Energy I see. Rasheeda sat there drinking her drink as if it were battery acid. It was cold enough to freeze the cameras. Rasheeda leaned forward and added, "You know, although Karlie was trying to seem pretty in a way, the Nova jumpsuit was 3 sizes too small. Receipts seemed to simply fall into my lap," which is hilarious. It's almost as if karma was dumped. Boom! The brunch became a full-on scene of questioning. Like a student caught cheating on an exam, Karlie began to squirm in her seat. She returned the blow, using the typical Karlie expressions. "What are you talking about, girl? I would never. You know, Rasheeda, don't approach me that way. We should be mature." Rasheeda, however, would have none of it. She produced a tiny USB. Yes, you heard correctly. She attended brunch with receipts. At this point, the guest was unaware of what was on the SB, but the production was aware of it because, guess what, it had been leaked days earlier. Recording Karlie and an unidentified acquaintance talking on the phone, supposedly giggling about having Kirk cover the cost of her new veneers. Take a moment to process that. Karlie is accused of sneaking, but Rasheeda is planning a dental upgrade on her husband's dime while boasting about it to her friends. Girl, he was stupid enough to fall for it, is one of the many gems in the audio clip. As soon as that clip appeared on a few fan pages online, #KarlieRedexext began. I just had to laugh and pretend that I was hurt by Jock, and then Kirk came to my aid. Memes of Karlie holding dental molds with Kirk in the background, resembling a sugar daddy emoji, were all over the internet. The fan reactions were intense. When Rasheeda was photoshopped as Judge Judy Kirk as a stray puppy in need of a leash, this woman has been silent for too long and now she's booing to burn. She should call Mona and get a spin-off just to drag Karlie. Karlie moved from Jock's mess to Kirk's catastrophe girl, and she truly based her career on seeming to cry and using other people's guys. Members, even behind the scenes, no one was purchasing Karlie's act of innocence. Spice said in the texts, "She does this each season. Constantly in tears over people are not standing by her while she creeps about." Bambi is said to have replied, "She needs to stop shopping for few." Now, while Karlie is out here avoiding digital bullets, guess who finally speaks up? Friends and shop for morality. The man of the hour, Kirk Frost, is the married guy in the background. The spouse is seen on video providing bedroom "I didn't get enough sleep." He appears on Instagram Live looking real, eyes in a Sprinter van. "You're doing too much," he says. No one is cheating, is there? I am aware that drama is popular, but don't have faith in all you see, sir. So what exactly are we to believe? The store receipts, the van video. The Rasheeda's social media quiet was more loud than Kirk's rejection of the audio. Tape regarding your bank account, financing someone else's dental treatment. Not a post. The captions for the fashion photographs read, "A queen never moves backwards, only lessons, never losses." It's not a quotation. See who gives you a clap? Victory. And when you bleed, who smiles? As all of this was coming to light, guess who became alarmed? Sis was in her villain origin narrative phase. According to a blog post, one of her ex-boys, Karlie, remarked, "Karlie knows how to twist the narrative. She will play, gaslight, and wail. Victim if necessary." Karlie launched a crocodile tear confessional live on cue. "I would never treat someone disrespectfully. That's how Rasheeda is. I've experienced too much as a woman to act in such a demeaning manner. Please, girl," she began referring to her by name. Past traumas, such as when she read from a resume, "I've been cheated on and I lost my father." Fight anxiety. However, she failed to explain why she was in a vehicle by herself with Kirk, why she uploaded that video of the wine glass, and why her voice was on that recording clip. She flipped it instead. "I'm being bullied by these women. They constantly make an effort to band together against me each season. The crowd wasn't believing the tears by now, and I'm exhausted." Remarked Karlie, "You've been tired of being messy. You bullied yourself with those lies." Nobody ganging up was a common theme in the sections. Even Karlie supporting fan sites began to turn against her once you entered the fire with gasoline underwear. However, this is where the H1 approved a full cast sit-down episode in the middle of the season, but it wasn't the reunion or the finale. Only a haphazard damage control episode shot behind closed doors. The network knew this treachery would be a huge hit with viewers, so they brought in Dr. Everyone Came There except for Jeff, the in-house therapist they turn to when things get too personal, who led a roundtable discussion. Yes, Karlie left the production without telling anybody. She texted the producers to let them know she didn't feel comfortable. And what did she say when Rasheed showed up in all black, her hair styled and her heels clicking like a villain going into her last boss battle? "You don't get to stab someone and then cry because the knife was heavy, and Karlie is aware of why. She isn't here. We have witnesses and receipts, so she should hire a lawyer rather than a glam squad." Producers attempted to change the subject, but the actors were so engrossed that the room became quiet. "It's crazy because she did the same thing to Jock, and now she's doing it to Rasheeda," leaned forward Kendra, who hardly speaks, and Spice went on to say, "She should quit switching between storylines like she's a mattress." Rumors began to circulate that Karlie's time on the show was coming to an end. According to reports, some producers began looking at a potential spin-off with Rasheeda, with the title "Wife Boss Betrays." Few does circulating. Now that he has Karlie read, in hiding, she is reportedly avoiding interviews, skipping brunches, and abandoning her glamorous team in the middle of a shoot. As you are well aware, Karlie's quiet periods are not due to meditation, but rather to her planning. However, there is a twist. The plot has already Rasheeda was mobilizing like a general preparing for war, and she was left without her while she was wailing like a victim on Instagram Live. You assumed she would just post cryptic phrases and weep in her closet? But no, darling. She made calls, and rumor has it that Rasheeda threatened to withdraw from season 13 completely if VH1 didn't accept. The Karlie one of them was supposedly sent to Mona Scott Young herself. Rasheeda is not playing. This was leaked by Data, a production team insider, who informed Mona, "This goes beyond television drama. My marriage is this. I walk, if you guys don't mind. And let's face it, Rasheeda is now the main attraction. If she were to leave, the credits might as well roll." At that point, things really got spicy, and Mona is now in damage control mode, trying to put out the fire without burning the ratings. Karlie supposedly received a stop and desist letter in her mailbox. Yes, you read correctly. Legal documents, not from Kirk's own team instead of Rasheeda. The reason for this is that Karlie had reportedly been teasing behind-the-scenes videos on her backup Instagram page. A wine bottle with the identical label from the vehicle footage was inadvertently apparent in blurry images of Kirk's shoes at her apartment. Kirk's attorneys, according to the leaked document, were not amenable to it and advised Karlie to stop making public references to intimacy or face allegations of defamation. But hold on, how are you going to bring a lawsuit against someone for supposedly insinuating something you were engaged in? In the meantime, Rasheeda went all boss mode and scheduled her own press tour. Kirk, bro, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and rides in a Sprinter with Karlie. It ain't no pigeon. Yes, without cast clearance or network assistance, she drove up to the shade room on the property and also appeared on a podcast called Don't Get Dragged Unless You're Ready. She didn't mention names in each appearance, but the shade was accurate to a precise degree. When someone betrays you, they tell on themselves, and how quickly they scramble to clear their name is one example. I don't have to reveal anybody. The receipts walking themselves out. Silence can be protective at times, but these days, it's permission, and I'm not offering it to no one anymore. Phew, I'm not sure what constitutes a declaration of war. Rasheeda just turned from First Lady to Mother of Dragons, and I'm here for it. One comment read, fans were consuming it, but while Rasheeda was handling it like Olivia Pope in heels, Karlie Redd was spiraling. She wanted to give a return interview on a B-list podcast. However, as soon as they played the van footage and the audio leak, sis fumbled a lot, agitated, requested that the recording be paused, and then forgot that Mick was still attractive. What did we hear? You all said that you wouldn't question me about it, Kirk. I came here just to advertise my lip line, not the lipstick plug. Your lip line is the last thing we're concerned with when your whole narrative is about the scandal. It's melting, and here is where it gets nuclear. Carrie's former assistant, the one who used to help her with timetables and lashes, Bags leaked a direct message thread to a blogger, in which Karlie is accused of you read correctly when she said, I don't care what Rasheeda thinks, she's boring and just mad. She ain't relevant without me or Kirk. The cast lost it when Rasheeda essentially acknowledged that the controversy was purposeful clout bait. Sierra banned her. Bambi sent a single clown emoji remark on one of Karlie's old pics, and we unfollowed her. As a result, Weave cast members are dragging Karlie around on fan sites as if she owes them money, and VH1 is threatening to sue her. They organize an emergency reunion recording early mid-season in secret, no publicity, no clues, just right into it. Everyone pulled up Rasheeda in a nice Karlie arrives last, wearing sunglasses and a red dress that looks like retaliation in heels, while Kirk sits 12 feet away as if he's been told not to breathe loudly. The reunion is a firing squad, and the dramatic side ponytail looks like a genuine Housewives audition gone bad. You really think playing in my face on national TV is going to help you stay? Rasheeda unloaded before the presenter had even posed the first question. Karlie clapped back, relative, Karlie, girl, you're not new. You just never changed. Don't play brand new right now because it's me, and you're behaving like your boyfriend hasn't had any outside kids. He did, Rasheeda answers. He heard the gasps. I healed, and guess what? I dragged him then. However, this is humiliation, not healing, and I will not allow you to exploit me as a source of amusement. Then came finally, the presenter takes out an envelope, cues, a genuine envelope, like the ones we use on internal productions. Inquiry notes. A Paw production assistant reportedly testified to Karlie's pleading with producers for a scandal that would change the game. If it meant more screen time, let it sink in. This season, she even promised to bend the boundaries of friendship. Wasn't just messy, she was strategic. Allegedly plotted the entire setup from the start. Rasheeda's face priceless. She simply got up, grabbed her mic, and said, then I'm done, without even arguing. You are free to keep the cameras. I'm leaving. Drop, mic. Karlie attempted to contact like Rasheeda. Hold on, after her. The whole story is unknown to you. But Rasheeda turned around and spoke the words that are now emblazoned on every blog post, tweet, and meme. Well, I know enough. You can tell your double quotes a few. According to executive produce her own spinoff. VH1 is reportedly thinking about leaving from Love and Hip Hop, particularly after her moments this season sparked record-breaking engagement. Karlie continues to ignore the elephant in the room, more accurately, the Sprinter van in the room while posting TikToks and maintaining her lip line, and Kirk. He has reportedly canceled a club hosting gig in Houston because he didn't feel the energy. Gone back into hiding, removed his Instagram, comments and disabled his tags. Was right. The energy was right. It's accountability. Give it a try sometime. Concluding remarks. Quiet, elegant, and strategic. Rasheeda played the long game and prevailed, whereas Karlie used fire and forgot that her eyelashes were combustible. Kirk has been struggling since season 2. Not only did season 13 become personal, but it also turned into a battleground, and this isn't even the reunion yet. Hold on tight, everyone, for if this is the start of Karlie's demise, what will happen when Rasheeda ceases to defend others and begins naming names? Whoa, did you all notice? Season 13 wasn't just for drama, it toppled the whole table, spilled hot tea on it, and burned the napkins. Kirk Frost was revealed by Karlie. Busted Rasheeda was unconcerned and booked. The only thing that remains is who will be pulled into the fire next. Because imagine what will happen in the next episode if this is the extent people would go to create a plot. Will we witness more secret audio or hidden footage? Nothing is off limits at this point, so please return it over. Clips surprise baby mamas in the reunion audience. Yes, you're sitting there with your phone in your hand and gasping, just as Karlie does with her phony tears. Do you believe Rasheeda was justified in leaving? Was Karlie really arranging this for influence? And ought Kirk to be detained? Is he responsible or only a pawn? In chess, Karlie's clout. Drop your sexy considers the feedback, because we are reading it all. Additionally, if you believe the video was sloppy, darling, but we have files, screenshots, leaks, and receipts that not even posted as of yet. Thus, hit like button. Just like Karlie, strike the panic button. Like Rasheeda and subscribe the bell and subscribe from the bullshit. In order to avoid missing the next explosive expose that will result in season 13, appear to be childish. This isn't simply reality television. This is combat with wine glasses and wigs. See you later. If Karlie hasn't blocked us,